Hello and welcome. In this video, we will talk about pulling changes from remote, and also we will try to create a merge conflict scenario so that we could understand how we can pull and also how we can resolve the merge conflict. So in the last video, we saw the pull with rebase option here. And in this video, we will going to see pull with fast forward if possible option. So let's see what we will see what is the difference between these two. So in the last video, we saw the pull with rebase and we got straight line of commits. And now we will use the pull with fast forward if possible option. And let's see what is the difference here. So we will create a branch. We will push that branch to the remote, and then we will pull the changes from the remote and we will see what happens. So let's create a branch here from, and we'll branching off from master. So let's create a branch and let's name this branch, for example, rebase, and let's create something. Let's create a file and let's say first file, and simply commit this file and make a commit of file created. Let's commit. So this is our first commit, and let's make another commit and let's add something. First line added, and let's save this file and commit this file. Let's say code added. With these two commits, we will push this to the remote. We will say push. As we will push, this will be. So let's first check the remote. So we are here. This is a repo, and as we can see, we only have two branches, master and feature one. And let's push that branch. And now we are pushing. So it's asking what name you want to give, and we want to give this the same name, rebase. So let's submit. And now we have this rebase branch. The name of the branch is the rebase, and the push has been done successfully. And let's check. So let me refresh this, and as you can see, we have this rebase branch and we have the rebase branch here. Now let's try to pretend that someone has made some changes and pushed changes to the remote. So we will check out the rebase branch, and okay, now we have the first file, and let's add some line. And for example, this line has been added by another developer, by a team member. So we see second line added. We will commit this, new code added. We will commit this file. So this is a new. Okay, so let's fix this. Let's make another commit. Let's say second did take, and let's say code fix and commit. So we have two commits at the remote level. So if we check the commit, so we have new code added and code fixed. And we go back to the Git Kraken. We came here, and so now if we fetch only, so there's a difference between fetch and pull. Fetch will create a snapshot of the changes which are there at the remote, and it will show us, but it will not merge any code from the remote. But if we apply pull operation, then the code from the remote will be merged to the local branch. So let's first only fetch and let's see the changes. So if we are fetching only, then as you can see, it's an arrow with two, then two is here, and the arrow is downwards arrow. So this means that we are two commits behind from the remote. The local is two commits behind from the remote. So here we have a local branch. We have checked out the local branch and two commits. We are two commits behind. So if we will pull, then we will have the commit. So now before pulling, let's try to add something. And I would like to add something on the second line. If you remember, we have added a line on the remote, we already have a line, we already have something on second line, but I'm going to add another line on the same second line so that we could create the merge config scenario. So let's say I would say that something important. Okay, and let me save this. And now let me say important code added, and let me commit this. Okay, as you can see here, we have a rebase branch, the branch that we named rebase. This is the remote branch, and you can also see the GitHub icon here. So we have these two commits, and then we have the local commit here. Now, if I try to pull, now I'm going to pull with this option, fast forward if possible. If I try to pull, then what will happen? We are expecting that it will give us a merge config because we have added two different code at the same line, right? And let's try to do that. So let's pull this. So let's pull now. Okay, as you can see, we have the merge config here and says that the merge config that needs to be resolved. So let me click on this first file, and as you can see, we have two different code at the same line, two different sentences at the same line, and the Git says I don't know which line to pick up. So we can say that, okay, pick this line also and pick this line also. And that is how we have resolved the conflict. And we can now save this. And now we can give a name. It has given an auto-generated commit message is here, which says merge remote tracking branch remote GitHub repo rebase into rebase. So this name is the full name of the remote branch, and this is our local branch. Or we can use any other name or any other commit message. So I will not change this, and I will commit. So as you can see here, as we resolved the conflict and we merge, so we pulled the data, we pulled the latest code from the remote, and then we merged. In this case, we applied this pull operation, fast forward pull operation. And in this pull operation, what happens? It first fetches the data and looks if there is any conflict to resolve or not. And if it is, then we have to resolve the conflict, and then it merges the remote code into the local, right? And in the rebase option, we saw we have the straight line. Okay, now we have this merge commit on the remote, and we have to push it so that our remote should also get this change. So let's push to the remote, and we are pushing it to the remote, and let's see, will we be able to push successfully? And yes, we have pushed it successfully. And now look at the remote, and let me refresh this page. So as you can see, we have that merge commit here, and we also have that important code added commit also. If I look at the code, and if I open the file, which was first file, so we can see all the code, second line added, and something important. So as you can see, the difference in the rebase in the pull with rebase, we have the straight line, and with the pull with fast forward operation, we have a merge commit in this case. And remember, we also resolved the conflict. I also showed this because I wanted to explain that how we can have merge conflicts and how we can resolve that. I hope this will be helpful for you, and I will see you next video. Have a good day.